Welcome to another Canadian Module Company feature. In this one, I'm featuring the System 80 Jove filter. System 80 is from Toronto, Ontario, home of my favorite band, Do Make Say Think. I didn't realize, but back when I was starting my modular journey, back in, actually a little bit after that, maybe a year into it, on October 2023, I owned a System 80 module and didn't even realize it. I had actually the newer version of the Jove. It was called the 860. And it had smaller HP. It was pretty much, the rest of it was the same. And at the time, I didn't really understand it because in the video, I rewatched it right before doing this. I'm playing with these and not understanding why it's not having any effect. They're not called CV1 and CV2. In the newer one, they're called Mod. And so I thought that it would have some more modulation on the cutoff frequency, which it didn't. This is just an attenuator for the CV inputs that are happening here. So in this example here, what I have going on is I've got the chord coming into the Jove filter. And what's neat about this module in particular is you can have two modulation sources adjusting the cutoff frequency, which was another thing that I was unsure about in the original time I was looking at it. Was I saw these modulation sources, but I didn't realize it was modulating the cutoff frequency. So in number one here, CV1, I've got an LFO. And as I adjust the LFO, it's making adjustments to the cutoff frequency, depending upon how much I have this set up. Obviously, there's, so here's the resonance, and down here is our resonance CV. Now, what I also have coming into it, so I'm coming in with the cubic chord. Let me just slow this down a little bit. I'm coming in with the cubic chord. You can see right here, this is the root note. And what's interesting is you can have two ins, and they're both kind of summed to this one out. So it's a little bit of a mixer because here is a level for that second input, which I've just turned down. So now all you're hearing is the root note. If coming into the second one, I have the third, and then you could hear them both together. Coming into this second CV, I have got out number 2 of peaks, which I have set up as an envelope. And if I have it hooked up so that I can trigger it, but if I just trigger it with the button here, it kind of takes over from the LFO. So if I take the LFO out, I've got the frequency all the way down, and I got the idea from the markings on it where that looks like an ADSR. So I thought, ooh, I'll throw a little ADSR in here. And kind of the same idea as the low pass filter, I guess, where I've got the frequency all the way down. I've got it on low pass, and I'm sending it, though, the ADSR for which it's going to follow that. And you could set this up on anyone. So I were to take that out and plug that into the one over here and have it apply fully. Same idea. I wonder about inversely. No. Or less. Which is kind of a neat thing. So essentially, the CV1 and CV2 are directly affecting our cutoff frequency. You can plug something, if I grab the same LFO and throw it into the resonance there. I don't have this attenuated, so maybe I should turn it down there. And so it's LFOing from the initial starting point there. I have it set pretty high. Let me lower that so we can kind of hear some stuff happening. And what's super cool about this is with the two control voltages, adjusting the cutoff frequency, and with this resonance here, you could get so many sculpting options for whatever you're sending in. And again, right now I'm just sending in the cubic chord. If I take out the third, all I've got now is I've got a keyboard that's triggering this, and as well, it's coming up and it's doing the volt per octave on the chord. Which is pretty cool. And one last thing that I criticized it for in my previous video was that it only had the one out. And for example, right now I'm using it in low pass mode. And I think I was comparing it at the time to ripples, where you could come out of low pass, you could come out of the high pass, you could come out of the band pass all at the same time. But what I ended up finding in all these years is I don't ever use that, like pretty much never. And although I've mainly gone through the low pass, I usually just use one of the two low pass settings. Maybe people, like, I don't know. I find whenever I go to a filter, I'm always going low pass, but maybe I should explore band pass and high pass more, because I'm sure they sound fantastic on the Jove. If you got ideas for other ways that I should patch this thing, please let me know. Here it is, the Jove filter by System 80, right here. Canadian feature, right here on the All Weather Howlage channel.